Hey everybody, it's Bruce and I'm here to talk to you about the input function in Python. And this is something that's in Module 1. Um, and I thought I'd create a video about it to help you out here, all right? So there's a page in Module 1 called Read Exploring the Input Function. And I gave you some sample code to look at here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each block of code and put it into Visual Studio Code, one thing at a time, and we'll go through it, all right? So I'm going to copy and paste this code right here, edit, copy, okay? And then I'm going to fire up Visual Studio Code, and this is from another example. So we're going to close it, okay, right there. And I'm going to create a new file. We'll call it input-demo.py. And I'm going to close the sidebar. And I'm going to paste in that code that I copied from Canvas. So there we go. Actually, this should be this date is a little wrong, but we'll just do July 2020, all right? So this first example is going to show you the input function. And as you may have seen in other videos, input is going to prompt a human, a user, a person, right, to enter in something that we are asking for. And I'm just going to comment out these two lines. There we go. So the only executable line in this program now is the one here on line 6, which has this function called input built into Python. And then there's a string. This is called the prompt, what you want to prompt the user to input. And the spaces here, actually, I'm going to take it out for a second. There you go. And I'm going to run this, all right? I'm going to say run, right? And by the way, I'm going to clear. Okay, whoops. I want to clear. There we go. So my terminal is nice and clean. It's clear on the Mac. It's CLS on a PC. All right, so let me run this now so you can see it. And all it says is enter a string of characters. And notice the cursor right here. Notice how it's right up against the colon. And if I type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right, just like that, right? And I hit enter, the program ran because all it did was ask for a string to be entered, right? In fact, just so you can see this right here, this is a complete statement, right? If I run it, let me clear this out just so you can see it clear, okay? And let me run this, check it out. Look at line 6, right? Right? It still does the same thing, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And that. The only difference between what this is and what I'm going to put back in is that this is a statement, right? In fact, it's an expression, right? It's doing something, right? But it's not taking the characters, right? The A, B, C, D, right? That I'm, that I'm entering and assigning it to a variable so that I could use it, say, to print it out, right? So check this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and put that variable name, a string, right? What a great variable name, a string, right? But it works, right? And it's also in camel case, right? Because the second word in that variable name string, right, is uppercase, right? So now on line 7, if I comment out, I comment in, right, that variable print a string, and by the way, I forgot to put that space back there. This way the cursor is not slammed right up against that colon, right? So I'm going to run it, check it, run it. It says enter a bunch of characters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And now it's going to display it by printing it out, right? So input by default, just so you know, will give you a string back. So a string, right? And what I mean here is that input, like no matter what you input, in fact, let me just show you, right? I'm going to run it again. And if I enter the number 5, which is a number, believe it or not, inside of Python, inside our great program here, a string, the variable, is actually a string and not a number because input by default gets a string. And as I go a little bit further into this, it'll make more sense. In fact, there is a function, another function, right, inside of Python called type, T-Y-P-E, which will tell you the type of variable, right, the data type of that variable. Is it a number? Is it a string? Is it, what is it, right? So check this out. Let me clear out the bottom, clear, CLS on a PC, save my code, and run it, right? And check this out, 42, right? And that's going to come back as what? A number or a string? It's a string, Bruce. You're right, it's a string. And Python is telling us it's of the type string. It says class str. Don't get too hung up on this, right? And so just so you know, right, by default, input will always give you a string, even if it's a number, all right? You got that? Write that down, okay? Because I know some of you are taking notes. All right, so that's that. Let me just clear this out, clear. Let me comment this out. There we go, get a string. So let's go back to Canvas, whee, right? And let's go here. I did this in another video, by the way. This will just print out 2 blank lines, right? So this has nothing to do with this topic, right? But if I put that in there, it's going to print out 2 blank lines, right? Okay. Go watch the video on the print function if you haven't already. So let's copy this next section right here, and we'll do the 2 blank lines. What the heck, right? So let's go back, whee, and put that in, and let me do this here. This, comment that in, and comment that in. All right. So check this out. Look at the editor. Look at line number 14, and now we're inputting something, enter a number, but we're using another Python function called int, I-N-T, int. So what's going to happen is the person is going to enter in a string, right, which is going to be a number. I know. But then this int function magically takes that string, that's a number, and converts it into a whole number, an integer, and stores it in a variable called integer, right? I could have called it, something else like an integer, right? Something like that, right? But I just went with basic integer. Just know that, all right? So check this out. Here we go. Let's run it. Enter a number, all right? 42. And it comes back as 42, and it says it's of the class int, I-N-T, a whole number. So that's how you'll get a whole number from a person, right, a human, right, when you need a whole number. You'll take input, you'll enter in the prompt here as a string, and then you'll force the input to an integer using INT, all right? So that's how you get that back. And again, I'm printing 2 blank lines. I should have commented that out too. Let's comment out this line, and we'll comment out these 3 here. Okay, good. You with me? Don't be afraid to pause the video, okay? Or rewind. Get a floating point number. A floating point number. Floating point number is a number with a decimal point, okay? That's what we call it, a floating point number. So I'm going to uncomment out these lines, and I'm going to do that. So check this out. Input, right? And the prompt, enter a number. Decimals are okay. And then we are using the built-in function in Python called float, which is going to convert this string, whatever the human enters, and it's going to assign it to a variable that I just made up called floating, okay? And then I'm going to print it out and show you that it's of the type float. So check this out. Ready? Run Python file in terminal. Actually, let me just kill this here and clear. Let me run it again. Here we go. Ready? So 42 point. All right. So that's a floating point number, right? So here we go. So there it is. There's the number floating because we stored it in a variable, and it's of the type float. That's good. So if you ever need a floating point number to work with, right, when you ask somebody to enter in a number, you force it to be float using input and float, just like I did there. INT for integer, right, or just input for a string of characters, right? Could be letters, it could be letters and numbers, you know, any combination thereof, all right? So back to Canvas, let's copy the last one. So this is something that the book used to use a lot, and it's kind of frowned upon. So if you go on the intertubes and you look around about eval and this stuff right here, you may see some, you know, discussions, lively conversations taking place. So check it out. You can actually use eval to evaluate whatever the person entered numerically, hear me out, numerically. You're not going to want to evaluate a string, okay? And what it's going to do is force it to either, actually, let me just show you. Okay, here we go. Ready? Run Python file in terminal. Again, let me just clear out the terminal. Run Python file in terminal. And I'm just going to type 3, right? And there it is. It's an integer. See that? 3. It came back. It evaluated it to be an integer. So let me clear this one more time. Clear. We're almost done. We're almost done. And now I'll enter pi 3.14, right? And it comes back now and says it's a float because it evaluates it. It's got some smarts about it, right? Eval. So int forces it to an integer, float to a decimal floating point number, right? And eval forces it to whatever it may be. Now, there's one other sweet thing, right, that eval can do. So check it out. Ready? So here we go. What happens if I enter 3 times 12? 3 asterisk 12. You're like, what? And it's going to evaluate that, and boom, 36, and it knows that it's an integer, right? One more time. Ready? Clear. Run. And we'll do, I don't know, 3.14 times 1,000, right? And it comes back and it says, there it is, 3,140, and it's a float, all right? So I hope this video helped on getting information from a human, from a person, right? Using the input. And input only takes one parameter, and that's the prompt, the textual prompt. Now, I know one of you out there, and I said I was going to be done soon, but I just heard one of you ask me virtually, what happens, Bruce, if you just do like input, just like that, right? So check it out, run Python file in terminal, and look what it's doing. It's just like waiting for me to do something, anything, and just boom. So it's like, you could use it like in a program somewhere like this, but not that I do. So let me do it one more time. Ready? There it is. It's just like an empty input and that, right? So you could even assign whatever I type in to a variable, right? And then print that variable out, right? So check this out, because you asked. I heard you ask. Ready? Run Python file in terminal. I'll just type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and there it is, okay? So, yeah, there you go. There's a video on the Python input function. Again, all this stuff is in Canvas, okay? There it is, read, exploring the input function, and I'll also link a video in this page as well, in addition to being in the video library inside of Canvas. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.